Hello and welcome to this section, Working with Lights. In this section, we're gonna understand how lighting works in Unity. Then we're gonna learn how to create different types of lights. Also, we're gonna learn how to create a procedural skybox. And finally, we're gonna learn how to bake lights in our game scene. Now, in this first video, Fundamentals of Lighting in Unity, we're gonna explore the lighting window or the lighting settings. Then we're gonna learn how lighting affects the scene in Unity. Also, we're gonna tweak different lighting settings and see how it affects our scene. So let's get started. So here I'm back inside the Unity editor and let's explore the lighting settings in Unity. As you can see here, we have the directional light, and if we just disable the directional light, you can see still we have some lights that we can see in the scene. We can go ahead and tweak different settings from the lights. Let's say we change the color to something different. As you can see, it is affecting the scene in a different way if we try changing the color of the light. Also, we can increment the value of this intensity variable, and as you can see, it gives more and more intensity of the light. And also, if we want to create more realistic shadows, you can change the settings of these shadows. If you select no shadows, there will be no shadows at all in the scene. You can go ahead and select hard shadows, which are kind of hard and not realistic, and soft shadows are more realistic in our scene. You can also increment or decrement the strength of these shadows to see how it works in the scene. So these are the different things that you can change from the settings. Now, if you go to Window, Rendering, and Lighting Settings, you will see a lighting settings window, and this is where we can tweak all the different values of lighting that we have in the scene. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop it and dock it beside our inspector window. So if you go to this lighting tab or lighting window, as you can see here, we have all the different settings of lighting that will help us to modify the lighting in our scene. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and select the directional light, go to inspector, and disable the directional light. So now we don't have any light in our scene, but still we have some lights in our scene. As you can see, all the objects. Go to this lighting window, and as you can see, the skybox material is set to default skybox. So our scene is also getting some lights from our skybox. So if we select here, and from here if we select none, now our scene is getting a little bit darker because it's not getting any light from the skybox. But still there are some more lights in the scene. So let's examine where are those lights coming from. Inside the environment lighting, we have something called ambient color, and it is not completely black. That is why our scene is also getting some lights from here as well. So let's go ahead and make it completely black. And now as you can see, our scene is not getting any lights, but still we have some lights here and there. To remove those lights, we need to go to our rigid body FPS controller, and inside that we have this main camera. And inside the main camera, if you go to the inspector, we have this background, and in the background the color is not set to completely black. So our camera is getting some lights from there as well. So let's go ahead and select it to completely black. And now as you can see, there are no lights or no working lights in our scene. That is why our scene is completely dark. So these are all the different light sources that affects our scene. So you cannot simply remove the directional light and think that our scene will be completely free of lights. So if you want to create lights from scratch, then you need to disable all these settings so that you can create your own lights and light up your scene accordingly. So I'm gonna move this to previous value. Then I'm gonna go to the lighting settings, go to skybox, and change our skybox to the default skybox that we had before. Also, I'm gonna go to this inspector, and I'm gonna go to directional light, and I'm gonna enable the directional light. And now our scene has become as it was previously. So this is how lighting affects our scene in Unity.